Interfacing with infinity. There was a time when knowledge lived in places, in libraries, in institutions, in the minds of those who had spent years immersed in it. We called them scholars, and then there were those who could take that knowledge and bring it into the world, who could apply it, test it, refine it through experience. We called them experts. Both were, in a sense, gatekeepers, not by intention, but by circumstance, because access to knowledge was limited, and access to application required proximity to those who had already walked the path. And that structure made sense. In a world where information was scarce, depth required immersion, and immersion required time. But something has shifted. Knowledge no longer lives in a place. It lives in reach. I no longer have to commit years of my life before I can begin to understand something. I can ask a question and follow it, and then ask another and another. Each answer opens a path deeper into the subject. The deeper I go, the more I begin to see. Not just repeat information, but understand it. Not just understand it, but begin to apply it. The distinction between scholar and expert begins to soften, because the pathway between knowing and doing is no longer blocked by access. It is guided by curiosity. There was also a time when participation required permission. If you wanted to build something, you needed to know how or know someone who did. If your car made a sound you didn't recognize, you brought it to someone who had spent a lifetime learning how to listen. If you wanted to create something new, you entered a system, learned its rules, and earned your place within it. But that too is changing. If my car makes a sound I don't recognize, I no longer begin in the dark. I can describe it, I can explore it, I can understand in minutes what once took years just to begin. I may still choose a mechanic, but I no longer arrive without context. If I want to build a system, I don't start by learning a programming language. I start by describing what I want, and something begins to take shape. If I need to understand an agreement, I don't begin with law school. I begin with a question, and I follow it until it becomes clear enough to act on. This is not the end of scholars or experts. It is the end of exclusion. And the scholar is one who stayed with a question long enough for it to unfold. The expert is one who brought that understanding into the world and allowed reality to refine it. What has changed is not the value of knowledge, it is the cost of entry. Now, to begin, I do not need permission. I do not need enrollment. I do not need to stand outside the gate. I need only to ask, and to stay with the asking. And in that something remarkable happens. The path that once required a lifetime to enter can now be walked, step by step, question by question, by anyone willing to go far enough. This is what it feels like to interface with infinity. Not that everything is known, but that nothing is fundamentally out of reach. The path is still there, only the gate has disappeared. Take your time with this when you render it. Let it breathe, and it will carry itself.